Hello there, my friends. Been a while since I've done a Teacast, and I did say the next one was going to be about the physical store and what happened, but this one is about as much for me as it is for you. So I can get my thoughts down and you can follow along as we take a look at some of the behind-the-scenes problems that the tea man has to wrestle with in relation to the iced teas and the other teas. The current issues are in regards to pricing, shipping, and economies of scale. We'll tackle that last one first. If you want to skip that, I'll put a timestamp or two in the description. To those unaware of what is economies of scale, here's a very simple, dumbed-down way of viewing it. The bigger you do something, the more money you save. Let's take you as the consumer as an example. You can buy from me a 20-gram pouch of tea and a 50-gram pouch of tea, and shipping will cost roughly the same. A typical price point for my teas is $7 for the 20-gram pouch, or $11 for the 50-gram pouch. Probably about 75% of the time, shipping will be around $2.76, rounded to $2.75 for simplicity. And the shipping cost is something that a lot of people don't take into account when it comes to buying pretty much anything, not just my teas. The initial difference between the 20 and 50 gram pouches is just $4. Let's say you're the type of person who buys tea one pouch at a time, and over the course of a year, you buy 100 grams worth of tea. If you're somebody who only gets the 20 gram pouches, it'll cost you about $35 to hit that 100 gram total. If you're the 50 gram person, it only costs you $22. So that's a good $13 savings in the long run, but that's for getting shipping. Ordering those 20 gram pouches 5 times will cost you an extra $13.75 in shipping. Meanwhile, ordering the 50 gram pouches only twice will cost you $5.50. So the real cost to you for buying the 20 gram pouches 5 times is actually around $48.75. And the 50 grams will only be $27.50. So the actual savings is around $21.25, nearly twice what it initially seems. Just a basic quick example that's easy to understand. This lesson applies even more aptly to someone like me who's on the other side of all this. Let's go back to the 20 gram pouches versus 50 gram pouches and how much you need to get to 100. So if you bought 20 gram pouches 5 times over the year, on my end, I just had to use 5 bags as opposed to just 2. I used a lot more paper for the labels, I used a lot more ink to print them, I had to use more boxes, more tape, whatever else I'm forgetting. And then there is the important element that is frequently overlooked by people in these economic questions: time. The time it takes to slap labels on 2 of the 50 gram pouches, measure the teas, put it in the bag, and whatever else is considerably less than if I had to order 5 20 gram pouches. If you look on our website, we have a rough cost per teaspoon of tea for all of the pouches, and so it looks like we make more money per gram of tea if you buy the smaller amounts, if we only look at tea. But once you factor every other little behind-the-scenes detail like mentioned before, I'm actually much better off if you go with the 50 grams. All that leads us to my current predicament with the iced teas and the enerteas. In terms of getting your hands dirty and doing the physical labor, my production is a team of 1. Just me, and my facilities are by no means equipped to mass produce the iced teas and enerteas. I'm looking at expanding what I have, and actually in between writing the script I managed to snag an excellent deal on some new items to help speed up production. But currently I'm equipped to be able to make about 6 bottles at once. The bottles are not heat resistant, so I have to wait for the tea to cool down to at least 140 degrees before I can put them in. With the enertea and all the extra ingredients, I need to measure them out every single time. You don't want to know how long that takes. But funnily enough, measuring the ingredients for 6 batches takes almost as long as measuring them out for a single cup, which is what I did for a while when I was trying out different formulas. Oh, if anyone is looking to do something like that in the future, here's a little side note so you don't die. There is a big difference between milligrams and micrograms. I found that one out the hard way, but I will not get into that here. I'm looking at other options to speed things up even more, getting more equipment and whatnot, but things like that are expensive and mean a lot less when you've got yourself a single person trying to do everything. Again, economies of scale. Part of the frustrating fun of running a business the way I am is figuring out various systems and flows to make things easier and quicker. I remember when setting up a booth at a convention, it used to take me over 6 hours, but now I can get it done in 1 if I hustle enough. So, here is my current dilemma with these prices. People don't really buy bottled drinks like this online. A big reason is the cost of shipping. The prices I have up on the website right now has the shipping cost included. If you think the cost is a little bit high, just note that I'm actually losing a little bit of money on shipping costs by a couple of cents. It costs over $7 to ship 6 of these 12-ounce bottles, and a little over $8 to ship 12 of them. This effectively raises the prices on the iced tea by over $1 per bottle. Not many are willing to pay so much money for iced tea, even if it is mine. With the energy, it becomes even more complicated. I use extra ingredients, which cost money, and a lot more time. If I put in the time factor, I should be raising the prices. The problem is, who is willing to pay $3.50 or $4 for only 12 ounces of an energy drink they've probably never even heard of? I fancy myself as something of an alchemist. Back in my youth, I did a lot of in-depth study of nutrition, learning words I couldn't pronounce, forgetting them probably a week later because way too much information. But I'll get into all of that fun stuff a different time. The point is, I crafted these teas in a way so that even if you choose a tea with no caffeine, you will still notice a considerable difference in the important aspects of an energy drink. In truth, I should be calling these focus drinks, not energy drinks, because that's the main goal I have for these. There is no point in being shot up with energy if you're not going to use it. There's also no point in being jittery if you can't do anything with that jittery energy if you have no focus. I looked at why people drank energy drinks. What was the core reason, and can I do that better? To which I effectively said yes. The guinea pigs I've used so far have attested to that functionality, and I am in a position where I cannot really rely on fancy gimmicks to sell snake oil. I really have to deliver on the product. That's probably why, on my website, I have a higher than average return rate of customers. So much like it was with the hot teas, I know that if I can just get my product out there and have people try it, everything will flow from there. But how am I supposed to do that here exactly? Sending sample packs of tea is easy enough, but I can't exactly put already made liquid in a tea bag now, can I? I thought about sending out a free bottle to everyone like I did with the Froppy tea last year, but shipping alone will be over $5 for a single bottle, and I can't really afford that at the moment. That is also why I had to make orders in volumes of 6 or 12 bottles, because who's going to pay for up to $8 for a single bottle of iced tea? Again, economies of scale. Really, the major marketing factor I'm looking at for these teas is going to be showcasing them in public, having people try them, purchase them, leave reviews, that's going to be a big one, and whatever else. And I do have plans for that. I'm going to be stepping out of my comfort zone. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm not stepping out of it. I am being shot out of a cannon out of my comfort zone. But that's going to be a tale for another time. But either way, I'm still going to have the problem of selling a 12-ounce tea, whether it be the iced tea or the energy drink, for $3 or $4 to people in a park or something of that nature. Sure, if I can get me some nice big factory to mass produce everything, I can bring the price down. But I don't exactly have big factory money just yet. So I don't want to make this too long. That was the basic gist of what's been running with my head, working on prices, how can I make this more affordable, and all the little nuances that go on behind the scenes. Let me know if you like the information like this, how my attempt at the economics presentation went, and whatever other type of feedback you can give me, and I will see you next time.